didn't see that. Whew, yep, that's much better. I know that bugged a bunch of you guys when I installed the bull bar, so I flipped them around just for you. What is up, guys, and welcome back to another video. Before we get stuck into the Prado and the jobs we're gonna get done on it today, I thought I'd give you guys a quick update on the shop because it's been undergoing quite, well, a bit of a transformation. We're kind of halfway there at the moment. But in case you guys didn't know, or you are new to the channel, my friend Woz, who drives this beautiful pink FD RX-7, has moved into the shop because we are running a fabrication business from the shop. That means you can bring your car down here and get an exhaust done, intercooler piping, a roll cage, pretty much anything you can think of, we can do it for you. Not me, because I'm terrible at fabrication. Woz will do it because he's awesome at fabrication. But we've been moving all of his stuff in and getting it ready so that we can get to work. As you can see, we've got the second hoist up here, which is awesome. It's so cool to see two hoists in the shop. It's now operating. Woz's stuff is all starting to be moved in. Like I said, we're kind of halfway there because there's still crap everywhere. But it's been really nice because it's given me a chance to reorganize all my stuff, and we're really making the most of the space, getting things in the air, adding more racking, culling everything that we don't need. The rubbish bin is absolutely chockers, and we're just getting rid of a whole bunch of stuff. And that leads me into a nice wee segue of another thing that we'll be getting rid of. When we're doing YouTube, obviously we have to keep the builds rolling and keep the content coming for you guys. And one of the mistakes that some people make is they do builds that they're not super passionate about because they think it'll bring in more views and more subscribers. And that's kind of the mistake I've made with the Civic build that we've done. I love the Civic, don't get me wrong, but I'm not super passionate about this build. I bought it because a friend was selling it cheap, and I thought that we could do some cool stuff to it, and I thought I'd be really into it. But halfway through the build, and to be honest, it's not really ticking the boxes for me in terms of entertainment value and just enjoyability with the build. I think that someone else could take this build off my hands and enjoy it much more. The one build I am very passionate about on this channel is the Fivo build. If you guys haven't seen it, it's the budget Lancer that we bought for $1,000 and pretty much turned into a budget Evo with all the turbo gear, all the body work and everything. It looks awesome, and I love that car, and I think we can take that car to the next level. Some of you guys might have seen the poll that we put out to you guys, but I said, hey, what should we do? Finish the Civic or full drive convert the Fivo? And it was pretty much unanimous that you guys want to see the Fivo be full drive converted. A couple of you guys said, hey, why don't you just do both? Finish the Civic, full drive convert the Fivo. Unfortunately, it's not an option really, because these builds cost an exuberant amount of money to build, so we kind of have to pick one or the other. That being said, I think someone else will enjoy the build a lot more than I am, and of course that means that we're going to be digging into four-wheel driving our Fivo. It's a massive job, but luckily we have a fab shop here now, and Woz is very experienced with this kind of stuff. I've been doing a lot of research, and I think it's going to be a freaking awesome build. Of course, we're going to take the Fivo to the track in its current state, and we're going to hammer down some lap times before we pull it apart and do the four-wheel drive conversion. And then of course we'll take it back afterwards and see the difference, but I'm very excited for that. But today, Prado stuff. This build is coming along amazingly. Today we're doing a couple of little jobs that will equate to big differences with this car. First we'll start with the exterior. So we're going to be painting our mirrors black because I'm just not into the plastic chromey look. And it'll also tie in nicely with all the blacked out rest of the build. Secondly, we have some weather shields right here. Let's open them up. So these are black, which again ties in with our build, but they're also a bit slimmer than the stock ones. So the stock ones are Q, but they look a little bit dorky, I think, and also needs to be black. These make a massive difference to the overall look of the car. We did them on the Fivo and it really helped. And also this comes with the front and rear, so the passenger gets a weather shield as well, so they don't have to get rained on, which is fantastic. We also have some new mud flaps here. So these are black, but they're also a lot tidier looking. So the ones that we have on the car at the moment are just a little bit tired. Obviously this car has a high amount of Ks on it, 370,000 to be exact, and so obviously things on the exterior are a bit tired. So these, replace these. I've actually already got one on the back because it was missing one, so I replaced it. Man, the black on the black, it looks super nice, and it's just going to tidy the exterior up quite nicely, I think. So that's the exterior stuff that we have to do today. Now we've got one really cool mod going on in the interior. Let's jump in. There we go. So the interior on these cars are really cool. Very, look at the wood grain we got going on there. Very luxurious, but this car is from 2004, which means it is nearly 20 years old. And the main thing that's lacking in this car is the entertainment system. So we are going to upgrade that. Staying true with the budget build, I've gone with the budget option, and that is this Chinese head unit. But it's kind of awesome at the same time. A, it's freaking huge, which is nice, you know, a bit more modern looking. But B, this thing has both Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, but it also has YouTube, Netflix, and allows you to cast your phone onto the screen as well, which is pretty darn cool. And it costs $270 with the reversing camera, which is pretty amazing. Obviously, we're not going to be watching it while we drive. I know you guys are going to jump in the comments and be like, that's dangerous, don't do it, you know? It's the same as being on your phone, just don't do it. So first things first, let's whip these weather shields off before it starts raining, which is probably going to be in the next 2 minutes, and let's chuck them on. I find it easy just to use a nice, fresh, sharp blade and just run it through on the inside between the door and the weather shield. Take your time with it, because you don't want to slip and kind of scratch something, and then it should pull off super nicely once you've done the whole thing. So I'm going to chuck you guys on time lapse and let's get this thing off and fit the new one. Is literally about to come down. It started spitting on me a second ago, so before we get absolutely crapped on, those are on, and immediately it looks so freaking good. Just adds a little bit of a modern touch to the outside of the car as well. But the black, super subtle, super nice. So that's this side compared to this side. The stock ones I still don't mind, like they look good for sure. But as far as this build goes, and the black on black look, I'm gonna say that I absolutely love that. That is so nice. All right, mud flap time. A couple of 10mm bolts holding the mud flaps on. Whip them off. I think they don't pull off. There's actually another 10mm bolt at the back that I had to undo. So here are our new ones. So I was gonna paint these, but then I put one on at the back just so I didn't have a missing mud flap while I was driving around. And I actually really like the raw look of them, so they're probably going to stay raw, unless it looks ridiculous when I throw this one on. This is not the right one, so that's good. All right, we'll get that bolted up. Voila, she's on, look at that. So good. I think I forgot to mention before, but they were $70 for all four, and then the weather shields were $36. So $106, but the actual like value of how much better the exterior looks with removing all these old janky parts and putting these nice new looking parts on is definitely worth more than $106, I reckon. But both of the links for these parts are in the description below. They're just from eBay. I always like to help you guys out if you guys want to, you know, get the same parts. All right, we'll use the YouTube magic and get these done before more rain comes. I literally moved the car inside because it was raining, and then it got real sunny, and now it's about to rain again. So, you know, Melbourne is awesome for that type of stuff. So the YouTube magic is going to have to do the job. Ready? Let's see if this works. That's much better. Hell yeah. We're cheating a little bit with the mirrors. We didn't pull them off. Some of you guys in the comments will probably be a little bit annoyed about that, but you know, black car, black paint, overspray. Hopefully not too much. Is what it is at the end of the day. And just like that, our mirror is painted. Looks fantastic. No overspray. We did it. Didn't have to take it off the car. I'm being super lazy. Looks sick though. Looks really nice. Very happy with that. Now the whole side of the car is black. Dirty, because I haven't washed it, but black. And then there's this side, which is the other side that I haven't done anything to, because this is how we do YouTube. We do one side so that we can film it all. Oof, I do love this though. It looks so good. Another job ticked off the list. All right, now we're gonna jump into the car and do the head unit. Oh, and we're back in the car. So, time to remove the head unit. It's pretty simple in these cars. Remove the silver trims on either side. Same with the top silver trim. Give it a tug. And then there's just a cable behind that you pull out. This one right there. It's the most easy removal ever. The good thing is, while we're in there, we can clean everything as well, because she's still filthy. I'm still forever cleaning this thing from how dirty it was when we picked it up. So we just remove this bottom thing, which again pulls out. So everything just pulls off in this car. You just kind of leave that floating there, and then undo these 10mm bolts, 5 of them on each side, and the whole thing should, in theory, just slide out. So I thought it would be easy actually to bring the unit up onto the bench and remove it this way and kind of fit the new head unit in. It's crazy how big and heavy this thing is compared to this and how far technology has come. But we're gonna go ahead, whip these bolts out, and hopefully just slide the old head unit out and kind of see how this bad boy is gonna fit. So our old head unit is out. Our new head unit, the trial and error kind of thing that I've gone for, the Hail Mary I'd call it, actually looks like it's going to fit absolutely beautifully. So, comes with these L brackets, which I have bolted into the side, just like so. And they literally perfectly slot into either side of the brackets on the inside there. And then there are plenty of holes down the side here, one here and one here, that we can put our bolts through. And because the head unit's so light, it just needs 2 either side. That's it. It's all bolted in. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that now. And that is literally the placement of the head unit done. And then we can go ahead and wire it up, which is fantastic, because I was expecting this to be a whole lot harder, but so that is our head unit officially mounted, sturdy as heck. So it's just got the L brackets on the inside, nuts and bolts, boom, ready to go. Pumped. I'm not going to take the plastic off yet because I don't want to risk scratching the screen, so we'll have to kind of see how it actually looks once it's all back together, but very happy with that. Everything's still super accessible on the inside in terms of wiring, so that's fantastic. So now we can jump back in the car and get to work on the wiring. So we're in the car and I've spent the last hour or so figuring out the wiring to make sure that I've got all of the things in my brain correct. So there's a patch loom that comes up the side here, and that's where all the wiring is, where I was trying to figure out all this stuff here, but this is actually, this plugs into the patch loom here, but you don't need any of this basically, because I'm doing away, obviously, all brand new head units, so none of the GPS, none of the CD stacker, or any of that, so that all can just be ignored, and it's all just in these 2 plugs right here. Speaker wires, power wires, that's it. I'm going to do some YouTube magic to get the wiring done, because watching someone do wiring is about as fun as watching paint dry or being yelled at by your missus. So I'm just going to do the old click thing to get it done. Alright, that is our wiring done. So at the moment it's just power and speakers, but that's all I have time to do right now. As always, we run out of time doing what we love during the day, but I have to go rug shopping with my girlfriend. Honestly though, I'm kind of excited about it. It's weird that you get excited about that stuff as you get older, but we're going to reverse engineer this and put everything back together just like we took it apart, and hopefully when I turn the key on the steering wheel this head unit actually turns on and makes some noise. Fingers crossed. Boom! All back together. Time for the most satisfying thing of all. Look at all the scratches on that, so glad we left that on. Nice. Most important thing. Wait, where are my keys? Always the keys. Does it work? On. There she goes. Look at that. So startup speed. A little slow, I guess. Little wiggly guy. Looks a little out of place because it's so freaking nice and everything else is still kind of dirty, but there she goes. Screen actually looks fantastic. The colors are great. So this head unit actually has wireless Apple CarPlay, which is freaking awesome. Still got the Bluetooth connectors, so I have them running it down the bottom here for the moment, but I think maybe I'll slot them out the side so the passenger can use them. But speed wise, seems pretty good. It's actually faster than the Sony one I had in the Navara, which is amazing. So fantastic. Very happy with that one. Make sure the actual speakers work properly.
Oh baby, you walk in the room with an attitude so tasty.
It works. It's so freaking good too. I'm stoked to have CarPlay back in the car. In terms of like the look and feel, man, it makes the interior feel so much more nice and modern. In terms of giving you guys a proper review of this head unit, I won't be able to until obviously we use it for a couple of weeks so we can find all the niggles and all that stuff in it. But as it sits, like, it just looks awesome, and so far I'm pretty happy with it for $270, including the reverse camera. Pretty bonkers. That is all we have time for today, guys. Unfortunately, I have to go rug shopping. Well, not unfortunately. If Tara's watching this, I'm very happy to go rug shopping, Tara, so please don't kill me. Thank you guys so much for watching the video and supporting the channel. As always, next up, we're doing the 280ZX. So the Prado stuff kind of goes on hold for a little while. We do have a four-wheel driving trip planned potentially this Sunday with Rex H, so obviously I filmed that. He's got the GQ Patrol, so it'll be the GQ Patrol versus the Prado 120 series, which is going to be a good time. But thank you guys so much for watching. Hit that like button if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you haven't already, and of course, as always, I'll see you guys in the next video. Cheers, guys. Peace. Bye.